Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Money Junior. Today, we're going to be talking about Breakout Gauntlet and how to complete it without spending any money. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a minute. So, I actually don't really know how many games there is. Some people saying it's 99, some people saying it's 100, some people saying it's 116, which I don't think it's 116. It didn't feel like 100. I've already completed it. So, and yes, it's a grind, and it is very. I mean, it's not hard. If you have the players, it's easy. If you don't have the players, which is what I had to deal with, it's not as easy. But what you're going to do first off is you're going to go into the auction house if you don't have enough players, which, by the way, you need about 350 players, I think is what it was. And that's with completing challenges, and that's if you don't lose a game. And I'm going to be honest, you're going to lose a couple games. And you're not, because you're not always going to be locked in. I'm sorry. It happens. But you're going to come into the auction house. You're not going to put up any color. You're going to put up about maybe 2,000 MT and just enable who you have. And then just buy every card you don't have or every card you don't use. And screen record every card you have used. And then you know who not to buy, right? So you would if you have the MT, you'd buy every single card and not duplicate. So yeah, you would just spam buy these cards, spam buy, and then you would get you could get up to 40 to 50 cards per refresh. If there's not enough players there, you would go to 2,500. And let's just say that there was no more players there. So yeah, let's just go here. Yeah, and then you can buy all these players right here and just don't buy the duplicates. And bam, 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 bam. You know, again, there's gonna be duplicates. Do not buy the duplicates. You can only use every single player once, which I know you guys have heard before. So you cannot buy duplicates. That's the number one thing that you have to watch out for. Do not buy duplicates. It doesn't do anything. And actually, with doing it that way and not selling them right away, and sometimes you actually end up making MT. I started doing Breakout at about, I don't know, 60 to 80 KMT, probably closer to 80, and then I sold all my cards back. I was at a cool 140K. You end up making MT back. So that is a good thing about this, especially when you get to use multiplayers. But looking at the board, right here in the gold, in this tier right here, to about this right here, so gold to blue, you want to use nothing higher than emerald. You don't want to use cards higher than sapphire. You really don't. Here's where you want to start using sapphires. Still probably want to use some sapphires here. Sapphires to your higher end rubies and stuff, and then you finish it out. And then yeah, you have to just be very careful. If you want to get it done as quick as possible, as good as these prize boxes might look, just straight up avoid them. I only say that because this is the gauntlet thing is the most important thing. Again, I'm not gonna have it because I did complete it, but when you get that, you get your choice in Glenn Rice, Jason Kidd, or Jack Sigma, or you could get this 95 plus Hidden Gems option pack. If you're asking me, I say you either go Glenn Rice, Jack Sigma, or Jason Kidd first, whoever you really need. Now, again, I made my pick, and I just really wanted a small forward. I really like Glenn Rice. That's that. I have point guards. I have pretty good centers, and that's where I made my decision at, right? So, but again, if you don't have good centers, you pick up Jack Sigma. If you don't have good point guards, you pick up Jason Kidd, right? But it's a grind. It's not going to take you a day or two, especially when you do it that way, because it does take a lot longer. So then what you do is after you start running out of cards, you would put those cards up, sell them for the correct price, and you come back, rinse and repeat 2,000 enable cards. It's great. You end up making MT when it's all said and done. So it is genuinely good if you want to make MT. I would genuinely though recommend doing Breakout first, because you do end up getting cards from these boards. You do get a good amount of cards from these boards, so it's genuinely like you might as well just do this, because you end up getting certain cards and stuff and all this and that, and then while you're doing that, you still get your first piece. Where is it? Breakout, right? Yeah, so you have to get 13 pieces to get one piece, and again, You get Jack Sigma, Jason Kidd, Glenn Rice offline. This one costs you 0 MT though. So I would say do Breakout first, get a couple cards, because I'm going to go through the portal after a game or two, because I want to have at least 5. But yeah, that's just what I recommend. But if you have the cards, you might as well just come through here. This is rookie. I think this is pro or semi-pro, pro, all-star, superstar, Hall of Fame. And this last game, this is the game you have to be the most careful of, because this one, out of every other game, is so... These other games are so much easier and such a breeze compared to that last one. I'm not a great offline player, which sounds weird, because I feel like I genuinely sometimes play better online than offline. But there's one game where I played against Steph Curry, and he shot 3 times behind the half-court line and made it 3 times in a row. So yeah, it gets sick. But what I would do there is, we all know the game changes are huge. I don't know if you can game change that last one, because I didn't really know how these worked. But I don't know. Yeah, Breakout Gauntlet. So yeah, I would use if you have any of the Breakout Gauntlet safe ones. Let me actually move my webcam real quick. Let me just move it right there. Actually, it's like shit. Okay, yeah. If you have any of these, and like let's say you're in the last 10 games and you're using a great card that you're really good with, and you make a lot of shots with that guy, use this on him. Which, yes, you might get the challenge done anyways and still end up keeping him, but you know, it's whatever. And then you use the Conqueror one where you instantly win a game. Like, that is huge. So, and then MT multiplier, obviously. I would save that for, again, a lot of those you'd want to end up saving for the later ladder, because these games are always so easy. And we're going to talk about how we can win those games, but yeah, super easily without even trying. But in these last 10 games at Hall of Fame, and just being able to get a free pass just to get that, it just makes your life so much easier. So I would recommend not using any of those. Plus, you also do get more MT in those games because the multiplier does go up. So if you double that, you end up making more MT. So if you want to make a lot of MT, that right there is the method. But again, what you want to do in a lot of these games is literally just spam pick and roll. Like, I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do a run because I don't know. I don't really want to because I already did it and I don't care. But you just want to spam pick and rolls with your gold and emerald cards till the day you die. And then there's challenges, which I do have to talk about those. So this one is 10 points in the paint. Again, where you're doing a lot of these challenges where you are just going to pick and roll a bunch. That's going to be super easy to do because you're already scoring in the paint alone, right? But there's some that I would focus on, there's some I would avoid. Hitting 3-pointers, you gotta be able to do. Hitting post move, super easy to do. It's really offensive rebounds I would stray away from, because those ones you have to force misses to get the boards, and it's just like you don't want to risk losing. Nothing's more important than winning the game, because if you end up losing, you waste 3 to 5 players. It's not worth it, you know. So just focus on winning. But again, blocks and steals, I'm not going to force those. If they happen, they happen. That's great. But if they don't happen. But one other thing too. So from here, you go up. I think it might be here where you get 2 challenges. Or is it here you get 2 challenges? Yeah, because then somewhere up here, yeah, I think it's blue and red. You get 2 challenges, and then purple and cyan. I don't know what color that is. Fuck. You get 3 challenges. So if you get 3 good challenges, you end up keeping 3 players in this last one. Oh, I got some points. Nice. But no, in these last games, you can keep a lot of players. You can keep 3 players per game you play. So again, in these games, in these lower ones, just use shit players and just breeze through them. Then you can use a couple good players, better players. And when you start getting to purple, you got to use your good players. You're like players you're super confident with. But I mean, honestly though, the biggest thing is really using that auction house to your advantage and using your players smartly. Like, you don't want to use Diamond Boogie Cousins in this first game or Pink Diamond Glenn Rice in this first game. It's rookie. I can shoot on this with, I mean, I actually loved using this card when I played. I think it was Erica Wheeler. Yeah, Erica Wheeler surprisingly has a burner on her. Like, a lot of these WNBA players have great jumpers, and they can absolutely tear up offline game modes. Like, we're gonna use her just because I want to show you guys that she actually might be okay. Again, she doesn't have grade 6. But that jumper is absolute shit. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys, but genuinely, like, some of these emerald cards do have good jumpers. So, you know, use your cards at will. And again, if you get a 3-point challenge and you hit them with her, there's a chance that you get her back. So, also, a couple more things to say before I end the video. Just because you do the challenge with a player, let's say I do this challenge with Karl Anthony Towns, doesn't mean I keep Karl Anthony Towns. I can still keep Jamal Murray or Blue Edwards or J.R. Reed or Glenn Rice. I could keep anybody, right? So I wouldn't just do the challenges with somebody thinking you're going to keep the entire player the entire game, because you will not. You just won't. It's not possible. You can't force that. You probably only need about 40 to 60 KMT. So if you grind out a little bit of domination and get about that 40 to 60k, so about 1, 2, 3, probably just 3 or 4 of these, you will end up having way enough MT to do these. If you're just starting brand new, if you're not, like how I did and you got early release and early access, whatever it is, then you end up, you know, already having the MT, and then you can just jump right in, and it's pretty easy. It's just a grind. Now, the last thing is, these 13 players, you really if you have 13 players in your lineup, or 10 players, depending on how you do it, these should be the last 10 players you use. The players you're the most confident with, do not use until the end of the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I wouldn't until you get to this point right here. Do not use anyone you're actually comfortable with. Like, I wouldn't use any of these players until you're genuinely in a good place to finish out the entire board. But that's gonna be the vid, man. If y'all liked it, leave a like, subscribe. We're also going live today. At around, what time is it right now? It's about 10. We're probably gonna be live around 11 o'clock. If you guys want to tune into that, we're gonna be live on YouTube. And I will see y'all in my next video, man. Peace.